Welcome to the session. Today we will revise some basic concepts and simple but important scenario-based questions and answers on threads. Let's begin. So, how do you create a thread in Java?
There are two main ways. One is by extending the thread class and overriding its run method. The other, more flexible way is by implementing the runnable interface and passing that object to a thread. Using runnable is generally preferred because it allows your class to extend something else while still running in a thread.
What are the different states in thread's lifecycle?
A thread starts in the new state when created. Once you call start, it moves to runnable, waiting for CPU scheduling. When the scheduler picks it, it becomes running. It can then go into waiting, timed waiting, or blocked depending on synchronization or calls like wait or sleep. Finally, once execution finishes, it enters the terminated state.
What are some important methods in the thread class?
The key ones are start, begins execution in a new thread, run, contains the thread's logic, sleep, ms, pauses execution temporarily, join, waits for another thread to finish, interrupt, signals a thread to stop. There are also methods for priority like set priority and get priority.
What's the purpose of join method?
Join allows one thread to wait for another to finish. For example, if the main thread calls worker.join, the main thread pauses until the worker thread completes. It's useful for sequencing tasks or ensuring results are ready before proceeding.
How does thread priority work?
Each thread has a priority between 1 and 10. Default priority is 5. Higher priority threads may get preference in scheduling, but it's not guaranteed. It depends on the JVM and operating system. So you shouldn't rely solely on priority for critical logic.
What's the difference between sleep and wait?
Sleep is a static method of thread that pauses execution for a given time but does not release any locks. Wait is defined an object used for inter-thread communication, and it does release the lock on the object monitor. Also, wait must be called inside a synchronized block, while sleep doesn't require that.
Can you explain notify and notify all?
Both are used with wait for communication. Notify wakes up a single waiting thread chosen arbitrarily. Notify all wakes up all threads waiting on that object. But even after being notified, a thread must reacquire the lock before it can proceed.
Let's say thread A is waiting and thread B calls notify. What happens?
Thread A moves from the waiting state to runnable, but it won't run immediately. It has to wait until thread B releases the lock. So, notify doesn't guarantee instant execution, it just signals readiness.
What if multiple threads are waiting and notify is called?
Only one thread is chosen arbitrarily. If you want all waiting threads to proceed, use notify all.
Can you give a real-world analogy for wait and notify?
Sure. Imagine a restaurant. Customers' threads wait for food using wait. The chef, producer thread, prepares food and calls notify. One customer gets served while others keep waiting unless the chef calls notify all. It's a simple producer-consumer analogy.
Why are wait, notify, and notify all in the object class instead of thread?
Because these methods are about inter-thread communication using an object's monitor. A thread doesn't wait on another thread. It waits on a condition tied to an object. Since synchronization in Java is object-based, these methods are defined in object. This way, any object can be used as a lock and a communication channel between thread.
What's the difference between runnable and callable?
Runnable has a run method, doesn't return a result, and can't throw checked exceptions. Callable has a call method, returns a result, and can throw exceptions. Callable is often used with executor service and future to handle asynchronous tasks with results.
Can you combine runnable and callable in a project?
Yes, use runnable for fire and forget tasks and callable when you need a result or exception handling. Both can be managed via executor service.
What happens if you call start twice on the same thread object?
You will get an illegal thread state exception. A thread can only be started once. Once it finishes, it's dead. You need to create a new thread object if you want to run the logic again.
Can a thread be restarted after it finishes?
No. Once a thread completes, it enters the terminated state. You can't call start again on the same thread object.
How do you ensure thread safety when multiple threads access shared resources?
By using synchronization, you can mark critical sections with the synchronized keyword, use explicit locks like reentrant lock, or rely on concurrent collections like concurrent hash map. The goal is to avoid race conditions and deadlocks.
Excellent. So to summarize, you've covered creation, lifecycle, method, synchronization, communication, priorities, runnable versus callable, and pitfalls like calling start twice. That's a solid understanding of threads.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our Java interview revision channel. See you in the next topic soon. Please like and subscribe to get more such revision topics on Java backend. Thank you.